Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What Do You Dream podcast. I'm Nick with Christy.
Hello.
And today? Nothing. I don't know. Tomorrow. Let's see what happens. We got stuff, we got dreams, we got interesting stuff happening.
Why today? Let's just do tomorrow.
And tomorrow, we have stuff for you, the listener. And before we get into the podcast, we'd just like to say thank you so much for tuning in. And if you really like the content, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at What Do You Dream Podcast, and also email us at whatdoyoudreampodcast@gmail.com with all your dreams and everything in between. Everything in between. We'll talk about anything.
Even the toe jam. Just everything
even
in between.
Even the toe jam. I want pics. Give me feet pics, and we'll do that. It's fine. I'm not paying for them. I won't pay for it. It's ridiculous. Don't expect me to pay for it.
That is so good. I actually can't believe there's a market out there for feet pics. It's just...
Oh no, it's a thing, man.
I know.
Well, it's always...
Why?
Think men. Okay, men, let's have a D&M right now. You and me. Look, men are freaks. Because, let's be real. If there's any strange fetish out there, it's not... A woman is probably not into it.
Probably
Let's be
not.
real.
Probably not.
The most is... Because, women are... Look, you're great people. You'll accommodate stuff if you really care about people.
We do.
But let's just say, look, if you love your partner and they're like, I love me some feet, they're not going to be like... You're going to be like, look, okay, I love you. You can lick my toes, maybe lick my toes. I don't know. It's gross. But a guy will be like, I need this to be in a happy relationship. I need these toes, which is weird to me. I'm not a foot person. I don't get it.
Neither am I. I hate looking at feet.
They're bad things. They're bad things.
Do you know what? I actually have a friend, and I found this out. I've known this person for years and years and years. Okay.
Yeah.
And I found out not long ago that this person wears socks while having sex because they don't want to see feet.
I've heard of people wearing socks because they're too lazy to take it off.
No.
But I've never heard, look, it's like, if I see feet, I cannot finish. I never looked at feet during. Have you ever looked at feet during? No one does.
No.
Except for
I mean, unless you've got a thing for it. But
the average, the non-fetish person.
I said to my friend, do you expect your partner to wear socks too? And they were like, no, just me, because I don't want to, if they want to wear socks, I'm more than happy for them to, but I'm not going to force them to wear socks. I'm like, so just you wear socks? And they're like, yep, every time.
That's so weird.
I know, it's so weird.
For all you foot fetishists out there, can you let us know what you dream about? Okay, because if you dream about feet, are your sex dreams all about feet and stuff? I don't know. I want to know. Let me know. Okay, but don't send me pics. I'm joking. I'm sorry about the feet. I could not think of anything. Or I could think of something worse. But yeah, again, men.
There's always
weird.
something worse.
Yeah, men are weird. Anyone who's out there, oh, men and women are the same. You're fucking crazy. I don't believe you for a second. Because again, women have a higher sense of what is they're attracted to, whereas us men, we're like
tits and ass,
or feet, and other strange things in between. You know what's really weird? This is one I've seen with both. It's both men and women. Is the people who are into objects. There was this woman who was fell in love with a carousel thing. No, Ferris wheel. And it was you're bro. And it's I love this. I love him.
I've seen that show.
Yeah.
There was one, and there was this guy, he fell in love with balloon animals. He was in a serious relationship with balloon animals, and there was another guy who was in a serious relationship with his car. And I can only imagine the things he did with the exhaust pipe.
I feel bad for that exhaust. No, he just comes into work and his pants are just really covered in carbon and exhaust shit on his. It's just what did you do? Nothing. It's you always hear about men in their cars going oh yeah, he really loves his car. It's oh, not as much as Bazza. I'm pretty sure he fucks his car, dude. Again, they're because so let's take imagine An object sexual. I'm going to call them that because I don't know the name. And come at me, object sexuals. I'm ready for it.
Well, it's my weird obsession, wouldn't it be? My weird obsession?
Something like... No, but like... Yeah, I think it'd be my weird obsession because I remember watching that and there was this woman who ate clay. She loved eating clay pots.
Oh,
that's fucking gross. That's gross, man. Don't do it. But apparently it's like a deficiency. It's like a medical condition where they're like, it's like eating, it's straight. But yeah, it's like, so like, you know, imagine me doing my like usual dream. Oh, I was dreaming about a girl and wanting to bang and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, oh man, I was at a theme park. It's like, whoa, watch out. It's like, and then there was this carousel. All purple and a bit of red. Oh, I know how you like those colors. And then you know, got a ticket and had a ride. Whoa! And thanks for the episode, and we'll be back next week where I fondle a kettle. I don't know.
Kettle. There have been so many weird ones where like, I was watching one because I had a weird obsession with the Weird Obsession show.
What's your weird obsession? The show, man. It's crazy.
And she was obsessed with sniffing and like sniffing babies' nappies, like soiled nappies. So her sister had a baby, and that's where she was getting the dirty nappies from, and she would just sit there and sniff them. I know.
Look, I don't believe in.
I have no words.
I'm so upset. That's actually probably the most upset I've been in a while. Like, I would not. I would be so upset if my friend's like, "Can I sniff your baby's nappies?" Like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk to you anymore. I'd just be like,
friends.
dude, I don't want you to be like eventually when it gets toilet trained, I don't want you to sneak into my fucking kid's toilet and sniff the shit. Like, what's wrong with you? The amount it
can't be good for you though, because like when you wee and poo, it's all the stuff flushing out from your body. Like that can't be good for you. Sniffing. I don't know. I mean,
I'm so upset. But like, obviously, it's kind of like people into pee. That's a fucking pivot.
Okay, look, now we've gone too far.
No, okay, look, if you're like into, I would rather get pissed on than sniff poo. Like, let's be real. Like, with the conditions of drink a lot of water, obviously.
I love would you rather scenarios because
it gets bad.
What would I would rather.
Would you rather sniff? Okay, let's quantify it. Sniff 20 babies fresh shit nappies.
Yeah.
Or like, let's just say get pissed on. Not like
once.
Anyway,
just once and done.
Once and done. Like, let's just say not Austin Powers coming out of his frozen chamber thing and pissing for like a minute.
Like just a normal wee.
I'd say like a little longer than the average wee.
I would rather get pissed on than sniff a baby's dirty nappy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And like imagine if in the scenario like then I can just have a quick shower because pee is sterile.
Exactly.
Pee is sterile as well. Like it's probably
yeah.
No, it is. Google it. You could Google it right now. I don't, it's like, look, if I'm willing to get pissed on if I get stung by, like, the fucking octopus or some shit, or jellyfish, I got there eventually.
Do you know that is a myth? You're not supposed to pee on someone. It does absolutely nothing. It does absolutely, it was busted. Dude. It does absolutely nothing.
It. So, ammonia does nothing to it? Like,
it does absolutely, apparently the best thing to do is just pour cold water on it.
Well, piss on my wounds and call me Mary. God damn. Who would have thought?
Yeah, even vinegar, you're not supposed to put vinegar on it. Apparently that just makes it sting even worse.
It's kind of like in Major Pain where it's like, I've been shot. It's like, you want to get your mind off the pain? Yes, snap your finger. It's a different pain to focus on.
Yes, exactly.
You're just like, God
I
damn.
learnt that from Bondi Rescue because someone got stung by it. They had blue bottles and it was a blue bottle episode and they had all these people that got stung and they were talking about all the myths of putting vinegar on it or putting like someone weeing on you, and they're like the best thing to do is just put cold water on it to try and take off all the tentacles because they just wrap around you and they just stick.
Yeah. So for any of the people out there who don't know what blue bottles are, and they're not actually like bottles of blue stuff, they're a type of jellyfish.
It's
They're
a
the
stinger.
laziest. They're fucking lazy ass jellyfish. They float around, just pieces of shit. And they can get washed in by the tide, and if you happen to be caught in the middle of that washing up part, or you step on it on the beach, you're gonna have a bad time. I've never been stung by one.
Neither have I.
But like, it's like, I don't know. It's worse than just say like in the bush and getting stung by something. It's a piece of shit because it's like I have been swimming when there's like a whole thing of blue bottles coming in because you have someone go blue bottles and then it's a panic.
That's
and
me.
You're like, you're trying to get off.
That's the thing. Like when there are blue bottles, they swarm in like thousands. Not just one or two. They are in thousands, and they're all across the beach, not just in one section.
No.
So they normally wash in with the tide. So if you ever want to go swimming in Australia, swim when the tide is going out.
Yeah, because you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. And
it's like,
if I see it washed up on the beach, I will not go in the water.
Oh,
I will
absolutely
refuse.
not. Absolutely not. It's such a... Jellyfish, man. Jellyfish are just...
Even blue bottles are like shit because they can still sting you when they're washed up on the beach. So if you step on it, it will still fucking sting you.
It's like, just die with dignity.
It's just a piece of... You're right. It's a piece of shit freaking animal.
You know what? Standing on a piece of shit is less impactful in my day than stepping on a blue bottle.
Oh, I'd rather... Yeah.
I'd rather step on, or would you rather get stung by a blue bottle or step through tons of shit? This is the Would You Rather show. And I'll explain to you why you'd want to step on a blue bottle after the break.
But yeah, they're tiny, tiny, tiny little jellyfish. They're not even... And they're blue, obviously. That's why they're called blue bottles. But they're just... Yeah. I've never been stung, but I have been stung by stingers, but not blue bottles.
We're going to... Well, I'm gonna, you keep talking about jellyfish. I'm gonna jump out in a second. I've just realized the bloody Mo is going, and I'm gonna have to fix this. Pieces of shit. Every time I'm trying to do something.
I will just...
Somebody ruining my time. I hope this sounds good on the podcast. Okay, and we're back. It's okay. Mowing is interesting. Lawn mowing is an interesting
No, we're
thing,
cutting that out. We're not keeping that in. I'll just go speaking of blue balls because one of my dreams has to do with a weird little jellyfish anyway, which is
cool.
Kind of ironic.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, speaking of blue bottles, fuckers, one of my dreams is about a weird little jellyfish thing. So I had this dream last week, so I can only remember a little bits and pieces of it. I really should write down my dreams, but...
You gotta have a dream journal.
I've thought about it. I actually bought a book to write my dreams down in, and the only dream I wrote down was Dear Charlie. And ever since then, nothing.
Ever since. Make sure you look through our catalogue and find...
that was a great episode. Anyway.
It was great.
So I was in school... in a science lab.
Yep.
And it was sort of run by this weird fascist system, right?
Cool.
And we all had to wear in Australia we wear uniforms, but this was proper,
think like Nazi Germany.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
A classic Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so.
You can say the word Nazi. Just as a general historical term.
Correct. So we were in the lab and the teacher was like, all right, everyone needs to swallow this little jellyfish thing, and if it passes through your system and it comes out of your bum, then you've passed the test and you can sort of join our fascist dictatorship. But if it doesn't come out of your bum, then we're going to kill you.
Okay.
I'm looking at this. I'm sitting in the classroom and I'm looking at the teacher or scientist or whatever it is, and they're holding a little jar, and inside it is like a translucent little jellyfish, but it didn't have tentacles, but it was kind of like a, you know when kids draw jellyfish and they sort of just do like the top circle and then go little waves
Wobble,
down the
wobble,
bottom?
wobble. Yeah.
Yeah,
They like those type of jellyfish as well. Yeah, those like...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, it was one of those, and I was sitting there and I just said, I'm not swallowing that, as if I'm putting that in my body. And he goes, do you want to die? And I was like, no, I don't want to die.
Do you want to die? Do you want to die?
I'm being super sassy. And he's like, well, if you don't want to die, then you have to swallow this jellyfish or whatever. I don't know. I think that's what he called it. And that's all I really remember. But I was like, you had to swallow it and then it had to come out your butthole. And if it came out your butthole...
Butthole.
if it came out your butthole, then you passed the test.
Okay. That's so weird. Okay, that's... Okay.
I know.
Okay. Look,
I woke up thinking, what the fuck was that?
Did somebody propose anal recently?
I am a no backdoor person. Nothing enters my back door.
It's like, that's all I can think of. It's just like butthole. Like, wait.
Stuff comes out, but stuff does not go in.
It's an exit hole, not an entry hole.
Exactly.
Oh my
Exit only.
So, okay. I've got a few things. I got a few theories.
Okay.
Theory number one. We are in an election cycle in Australia right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advertising for parties, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
This is usually a period of time where people get divisive and tribal and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So is this an element of so you got that fascist element of being forced to do something that you don't want to do to be a participant in society. So is it possible that you are disenfranchised with the current election or making a choice in voting?
I've never really cared for elections, and I know that's bad to say because I should have a voice and blah blah blah.
I've got a whole thing about that later, but yeah.
Oh fuck. I've just never really cared, especially because our candidates in the last 5 years or 10 years have been fucking shit. I just haven't really cared. Not since Johnny Howard. So...
I met him once.
Did you?
Yeah. He's short.
Yeah.
No, I was fucking huge.
Actually.
I was a fat man then when I saw him. Up on the Central Coast. Yeah.
Yes, I don't really care much for... This is where I put it. I can neither confirm nor deny whether I draw a dick on the ballot paper and post it.
I swear to God, if you do that, I swear to God. Okay, so the conformity of the election process and your disenfranchised of it, would that sound like the possible thing? Because it is starting to ramp up.
I don't really think about it though. Like, I don't think about it.
Okay. Okay, so generally, so like, let's think, okay, let's take this. This is a very, I would say anywhere that has a lot of beaches and has a very beachy lifestyle, we see jellyfish as a threat. You generally don't see jellyfish as not a threat, right?
Yeah.
So is there a current threat or worry that you have to deal with in order to do something, to conform to something? Has there been a recent threat that means you have to be a member of a group that you don't want to be, or are you feeling like there's something external that's putting pressure on you to do something you don't want to do?
Only thing I can think of is this dude who keeps telling me I need to do a podcast.
That is bullshit, and and you know what? If I was a fascist, you would not. I would have a much shorter, smaller mustache. Not saying the person specifically, this historical figure, but yeah.
I don't think so, to be honest.
Or
Or
is it vaccinations and you're an anti-vaxxer?
No, I am vaxxed. Because
that could be another thing. Because, like, again, that was one of my first thoughts. I was thinking, like, is it that, you know, part of a fascist government, the liberal government, Australian Liberals, not used. So for our American listeners out there, our Liberals are like your Republicans. It's the best way to put it. We call it. It's very confusing over there. And then our Labor's like your Democratic Party, but Liberals just fascists. Change my mind. Anyway, but no, like. But so you got a government forcing you to have vaccines, which could be seen as a threat, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the case because you're not that kind of person, because you're intelligent and I don't care if anyone. And that is a joke. Not really a joke. Kind of a joke. Let's see how you vibe with that joke. It's a joke. Anyway.
Was that a joke?
I think that was a joke because, you know, this is classed as a comedy podcast and we like to joke on this podcast.
We do.
So
sometimes too much. But people need laughter. Laughter is medicine.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. Am I right?
What?
I don't know. Would a jellyfish be too hard to swallow? Like, say if it was like non-toxic, non-venomous.
I don't think so because it's just
jelly.
It's blubber. Like,
also, you're gonna die every single time because like you're just gonna dissolve. Like, also,
look, I don't think swallowing a jellyfish is healthy, so nobody please do that.
Also, we're not doctors. Like, I'm related to one, but that doesn't count. That's about like it's not the same thing. And I might be Asian.
Is it handy having a doctor in the family? Because I would imagine it would be so handy.
Dude, like I had this thing. When was it? What was it? It was after my surgery, after my knee surgery, and like the toe, whatever the toe is next to your big toe, and every other toe. I don't know. So I can only name 2 toes on my feet. We're back to feet again. You got your big toe and you got your pinky toe. Everything else in between, in the middle toe, and that's about it. Maybe middle toe. Okay, there's 3. Anyway, so I thought I had a blood clot, and I was like, "Fuck, have I got a blood clot? Am I gonna fucking die? Oh my god, it's a blood clot!" And I kept sending him photos of my feet. I'm like, "Dude, have I got a blood clot?" And he's like, "You haven't got a blood clot. Like, your foot's itchy." I'm like, "Okay." It's just like, dude, your foot's itchy. That's it. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. But yeah, like, but it is handy. It is definitely handy. But it's you can't write your scripts.
I know, but I would love to have a doctor in the family because every time something weird happens to my body, I'm just like, fuck, I'm dead. That's it. I'm
gonna die.
I just go straight to cancer or I'm dead.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, generally, yeah, that's about right. Right, like you'd be the one to get attacked by a baby, like, cancer, and the bear's just like, "Bro, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna leave." But yeah, no, it is handy having a doctor, especially because he is a general practitioner, so it does help a lot. He gets, you know, except it gets awkward when I go like, "Can you check my dick? I think I caught something from somebody." That's a joke. That's a joke.
I need a prostate exam.
It's like, dude, stop. It's not insensitive, it's a prostate exam. Put that on the shirt. God
unless you like it.
Unless Okay, so speaking of uncomfortable things shoved up your ass, let's bring it back to the Australian election. So,
that's a good campaign.
Thank you. The election cycle. No one likes a finger off the bum, but do it anyway. It's, you know. Hey man, look, okay, women. I'm back to women because I hate women so much. That's a joke. I know, I don't hate women. That's a joke. Look, I don't care what all you say and how hard life is. Men have to have prostate exams. You know, you might say you can choose not to have a baby.
Well, you can choose to not get a prostate exam.
That's a medical thing that has to be done. It's
it
like
doesn't have to be done. You can choose whether or not you want it done.
I just got this like giant like. I just can't pee. It's like you have a prostate the size of a grapefruit. What is going on? I don't want to finger up my bum. Cool.
There are people who don't want it. Like, there are people who will refuse to go get a prostate exam because they do not want to finger up the bum.
Okay, this is a whole thing with like people in medicine and doctors. it fucking blows my mind. It's just like people are like, nah, I hate seeing doctors. It's like, why? It's like, oh, I don't like it because it's like, it's uncomfortable. And then it's like, yeah, so is getting sick, you know? It's like, it blows me away. It's I understand, like, especially in, like, say, Australia where we've got decent healthcare, not if the Liberals get in, anyone who's voting, don't vote for Liberals, but, like, we can go to see a doctor, like, you know what I mean? For, like, but, yeah. So, I'm gonna talk about my dream now. I don't have a really good segue into that. I I used it up earlier. I used it up. So, I had a dream where, so again, we are going through an election period. I won't bore people with details because I know that politics can be quite polarizing with people, and that's fair enough. So I was walking around, in my dream, I was walking around my local area, and of course, I'm not sure about what's like in other countries, but especially in the election period, anywhere where there's a lot of people or high foot traffic, there's always signs of the candidates.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially my area is quite contested because whatever our long-standing person was has quit, and it's a free seat, and people are everywhere across Australia. It's basically big shifts across all the stuff. So it's been a lot of people going on, and I'm not shy to tell people my political standings, especially when I'm getting like forced upon, like, it's like, oh, vote for this person. I'm like, I'm a Labour voter, and they go, okay. It's just, it's like saying to a Mormon when you're at home and they go, oh, let's tell you about the good book, and I just go, I'm Catholic, and they go, okay, bye. Raised Catholic, not practicing, but it's just like, okay, cool. But yeah, so I was walking around this dream doing my thing, and then I had someone coming up to me going like, oh, so who are you gonna vote for? And I go, I'm voting for Labour. And he goes, they're all the same, right? And I started having a yelling fest at this person. I'm like, they're not all the same. There is a distinct difference. And I'm very careful with it. And I'm looking right at you now, Christy. There is a difference. Liberals, and I was just yelling at this person. And I wouldn't do this I would not do this in public. Like, I would never yell at somebody for, but like, I had recently watched the undecided voter Q&A with the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, and god damn it, man, I have got no time. I'm already interpreting my dream myself. I was just taking this over.
I'm more than happy for you to interpret it, because I just like fucking hate politics.
Because I have literally, I think that with this, okay, I'm going to time myself right now. From now, just so I don't go over a minute on this. With Western politics, the media tries to keep you down and keep people disenfranchised with the government so that those with money can take control and make your life worse, okay? So when people go, oh, everyone's the same, people always do the lesser of two evils argument. In this case, liberals. Liberals aren't lesser of two evils. They're exceptionally evil people who are exceptionally corrupt and who aren't willing to do anything to make a change, and they just want to get richer. And anyone who says to me that they are the same it frustrates me, because they are disenfranchised because all the media they consume tells them they are the same. They're not the same. Vote Labour. Look for something. Look at the facts. The facts are Liberals are corrupt. Labour wants to make a change. It's the same thing. I don't know if it's the same thing across the world. I think I saw a bit of it in the US politics. But at the end of the day, you have to be informed for wherever you are in the world so that you can make the right choice for your country. 3 seconds off. Yeah. Okay.
I was timing it too.
Yeah, thank you. Because I know it gets boring, and I know people don't like politics. So, but yeah, yes. But it's so funny. It's so funny watching politician debates. I'm going to make this more fun. And it's just like, it's so jarring watching politicians, because they're just not people. They're like a different type of people.
Yeah.
Like, they just talk. Although, I got to say, one thing this is especially for Australians. We are very good at we're always countercultural in a sense. We're always against the man. I think we've always been that way. Like, we're always willing to say to a politician, fuck you.
Yep.
And they've done it on many occasions. And I love watching, it's probably my biases, but I love watching people give shit to politicians with like, just like, here's something you said you were going to do, but you didn't do it. And then they're just like, oh. It's such an Aussie larrikin thing. Just going like, mate, you're full of shit. And you're like...
I think Aussies are very... We say it how it is. And we're no bullshit.
Mm.
And it's funny watching them just bag out politicians. Well, not bag out politicians, but just be like, well, you said you're going to do this, but you didn't.
Yeah, no, it's like holding them accountable without no fancy debates, no word salads, just being like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
It's just simple, you know? And I think that's one thing. It's interesting because Australians, we're so apathetic with so much stuff, but I feel like we've also got that fieriness that could really be used for good. Which I think it does. Like, I think Australians, we're great innovators, you know what I mean? Like, we always seem to make stuff work and try and make stuff a little bit better. And I think that's what we're trying to do with this podcast for making you laugh.
Oh.
Yeah, we hope you're having fun.
Except for the last 3 minutes when you talked about politics.
Hey, I was trying... Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, but this is funny. It's funny because because I've always been a pretty politically minded person. But I never dreamt about it until recently. I think obviously I guess it comes with, it's like, you know, when you're young and then you're like, enjoy.
I was going to say, why do you think is really affecting you this time round?
I think I'm older. I know more stuff. Like I've been like looking up more things and trying to research stuff. Look at, you know, yeah. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just seeing how the world works and how corrupt things have been happening, and I'm just like, this isn't fair. I guess that's the main thing. But like, and I guess it's I want to buy a house, and if you live in Australia, you're not going to get a house unless you move into a different state.
Unless you move into the middle of Whoop Whoop.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, okay, so here's something. Have you noticed, so for, again, this is a very Australian episode. I like that. I like this. So with Australians, you know how there's always the classic rivalry between Queensland and New South Wales.
New South Wales, yep.
And New South Wales and Victoria. And it's never... New South Wales seems to be the bad guy on the East Coast. We're just the dicks. Have you noticed that?
I find there's more of a rivalry between New South Wales and Queensland than there is Victoria and New South Wales.
No way! New South Wales Victoria is a huge rivalry.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
I know there's a rivalry, but I feel like the one between Brizzy or Queensland and New South Wales is bigger.
I don't think so. I think there's always been that, like, because Queensland, I got it wrong. New South Wales and Victoria, it's like old school because they had that like for history lessons out there. Victoria and New South Wales were having a fight between who would be in charge, and then they had a love child called the Australian Capital Territory. Because they couldn't work out which one to pick. Which also, this area is in New South Wales, but it's not New South Wales.
I was going to say, and ACT is in New South Wales, so we won, fuckers.
Yeah, so, but I think it's all, so say for Queensland and New South Wales, we play, it's like rugby union, rugby league. State of origin. So again, rugby for you on non-Commonwealth countries, it's like football, American football, but better. I said it. I don't care.
I agree, because our footy players do not need to wear like shoulder pads or helmets. The only thing they really wear is a cup, if you get what I'm saying. Whereas American footballers, they're in like the bigger shoulder pads and like they've got helmets on and they're covered. Whereas, you know, harden up, mate. Just fucking harden up.
Funnily enough, we still get problems with the brain shakes. It's
well,
not. But like, any Americans out there, look up rugby highlights or something. It's a pretty full-on sport.
yeah.
I used to play it
Yeah.
as a young'un. I've had my fair share of concussions, and I've thrown.
I feel like in the last, I don't know, say 5 years, footy's gotten pretty good with the sort of head concussions and all that, because now, I mean, you get touched on the head and it's instantly straight to get a HIA, which is
Head trauma thing.
exactly. It's a, the doctors come in and they make sure you're not concussed, and if you're all right, you can go back on the field. But it's like instant.
Oh, alright. I got off track with the rivalry thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
No, but the rivalry with New South Wales and Victoria, it's always AFL and rugby. That's always the clash. It's like, oh, we play AFL. Because, yeah, it's all that kind of nonsense. And AFL's like, it is probably the most quintessential Australian game. And I used to always be like, rugby's better, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you ever watch Australian Football League, if you ever watch that, looks like it was made by a drunk pub like group. It literally, and I'm not saying to discourage, to shit on the athletes. They're athletes. I have no way around it. But it is like a drunken brawl to get a ball.
Sport.
It's fucking hilarious. And if you look at it, if you watch it like that, you will enjoy the shit out of it. And you go, oh, mate, give me the ball. Oh, what you fucking doing, mate? This is my ball. It's like
Pretty much.
it's like the last beer. It's like last call at the pub, and there's only one beer left. Like, that's what AFL is. It is fucking. But and they can get high up too, because like you can jump up all over people and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
I've never understood AFL. I've always been an NRL person.
Yeah.
Always. And I mean, to be honest, I've never watched a game of AFL. So but I've seen, snippets and clips here and there. And yeah, you're right. It literally looks like just a bunch of drunk people in uniform trying to fight for a ball.
Yeah, and especially more so if you look at, like, the social comp teams. That's fucking hilarious, man. Again, it's like middle-aged men going, like, oh, fucking, let's go. And then at the end, it's always, let's go to the pub.
See, I think this is why I like NRL better, because there's a bit more structure. And you can actually see what's happening, and, it just makes sense.
Even then, it's still fucking chaotic. Like, I know...
NRL...
I prefer rugby union. I think rugby union's a better sport. NRL is like if you've been hit in the head too much in union, but you still want to play rugby. That's a joke! That's a joke! You're entitled to enjoy what you like.
Is it?
Quickly, we need to pivot to a dream! You have another dream, right? I don't want to be controversial.
Wait, what was your whole point about the rivalry? Was there a point behind this or not?
Oh, New South Wales are a bunch of dickheads that no one seems to like.
Oh, okay, so that was it.
That's it. That was it. That was the thought I had the other day. It's just like New South Wales is like it's never Queensland and Victoria or like, Queensland and WA. It's always like New South Wales is a dickhead. Like we are we're the one who turns up at the family function. And we've brought some, like we're probably drunk, we're a bit late, and we've brought some fit floozy we've just hooked up with and going like, I'm going to marry this woman this time. And then you've got the ACT going, why? And then it's always a fight. And then
you got, like, the posh Victorians. I feel like Victorians are very posh.
Oh, yeah. They'd be posh. But
sipping
then you've
their
got,
tea
like...
with their pinky out.
The Queenslanders would be, like, very... Aussie tradie, but they got respect for their mum. Like it's not like you're like mate, or it depends on where you are in Queensland.
Same can be said for New South Wales.
Yeah, true. But then New South Wales is kind of like that drunky yuppie kind of like we're just it's either drunk yuppie or like a spoiled someone in finance who just can't get their shit together. That's probably better. Then it's like, I got money, fuck you. And man, actually, you know what? That sounds more accurate. That sounds more accurate. So yeah, if you have any, and you know what? If anyone else in the world has anything like that with their countries, I'd love to know about it, because it's always interesting to hear the nuances between, like, within countries, like even between states and whatever, and like even regions. You've got certain like even regional stuff. So yeah, let us know what it's like with yours, or your places of wherever you live. Residence. I got there eventually. But you also, on that note, so you had another dream, Christy, is that true?
I did.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah.
This is what politics does to me.
You're just like, your brain's like already turned off. You're like, why did we start? Why did we have this in the middle?
We just lost our listeners for the last 10 minutes. There's no one left. Does anyone even want to hear my second dream?
I do.
Okay, so it features Tom Cruise. So,
ooh, Top Gun!
Yes, because Top Gun 2 is coming out, and I'm very excited because I do love the first Top Gun. So I was working for a chat show, like an Ellen or a James Corden. I don't know which one. It was just a chat show. And a producer came up to me and, shut up.
Sorry.
Talking. You've had your last 10 minutes. It's my turn.
I'm so sorry. Let's start again. I'm sorry.
You should be. Anywho, so the producer came up to me and said, we need you to get Tom Cruise. And I was like, okay, how? And they go, you're friends with Tom Cruise. You can get Tom Cruise. And if you don't get Tom Cruise on our show, you're fired. And I was like, I'm not friends with Tom Cruise. How the fuck am I going to get Tom Cruise onto the show? I'm going to lose my job. So anyway, I walk out into the car park and there's a massive ass trailer in there and it's got Tom Cruise's name on it. So I'm like, oh, what are the chances? So I knock on the door, the trailer door, and he opens it and he's like, who are you? And I was like, look. And I was like, I need you to come on the chat show. And he goes, I'm not doing any chat shows. I'm not doing any. I go, but I really need you. Otherwise I'm going to lose my job. And then he looks at me and he goes, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Someone would ask that question to you too.
And I'm like, I'm a 30-year-old woman. What do you mean when I grow up? He goes, what do you want to be? If you could be anything in the world, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I want to be an actress. And he goes, can you act? And I was like, I don't know. I've never done it before. So he's like, all right. He walks out of his trailer and he like grabs me and he goes, all right, I'm going to throw a punch. You need to act like you've just been hit in the face. So like he's like swings and he like does a fake punch like you would in a movie. You don't actually make contact. And I've full just pretended to go, oh, and just whipped my head to the side like I've been hit.
How'd that go again?
Oh. Please don't sample that. And he's like, good, do it again. So he just keeps throwing punches and pretends to push me, and I'm acting, man. I am giving the best performance of my life. Like I am getting beaten up by Tom Cruise. This is a highlight of my life, right? He's pushed me to the floor and he's pretending to kick me, and every time his boot comes close, I'm like making noises and I'm getting hit. And then he stops. He's like, all right, we're done. And I stand up and he's like, you need some work, kid. You need some work if you want to make it in Hollywood. And here I am thinking I've just given the performance of my life. Like I have nailed this. I've impressed Tom Cruise, and he's just completely shut down my dreams. And then he walks off and I'm just crying because I've failed to impress Tom Cruise. The end.
Yay!
Right? Good dream, right?
You were always, it's so interesting. You do like having your production behind the scenes dreams. You really like that. Always entertainment. You like entertainment.
But I kind of woke up and I was like, I would be the worst fucking actor in the world because
You're behind the... Well, because this is... Okay, so anyone who doesn't know Christy, she's a behind the camera person, not as a... I'm not saying this is a stig of her face.
Rude.
Or a personality, or her just racism, or sexism, or any of the isms. But no, Christy is a great behind the scenes person.
Mm-hmm.
So just hear Christy go, I want to be an actress. It's freaking hilarious. It's just like the opposite. You're just like, oh, okay. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so okay.
Look, my acting abilities stopped in year year 10 when we had the school school musical, and I auditioned for the main role and I did not get the main role. I got a background actor who had 2 lines. And I acted the shit out of those lines.
Speaking roles are speaking roles. You get paid more.
Well, I didn't get paid at this point.
It's okay. You'll get paid. You'll get paid one day.
Eventually.
So what does this dream mean? I wonder what it means.
I don't know.
Is it that you aspire to have greater things? Someone in your life is... it could be that, you know? Or it could be a...
I do aspire to be more than what I am right now. I think everyone does, generally. Yeah. But, you know... there you go. I'm 30 now, and I'm still in the same job I was 4 years ago, and I thought by now I would have, you know, at least got into the field of what I really want to do, which is the film business. So anyone, please hire me. I'm a great video editor. If you've seen any of our socials, you will see that's all me. So yeah.
That's true.
I just thought I'd be at least in that field.
Okay. And
but I'm not.
I think that's probably where it comes from, because, you know, you've always been like film, you know, big film movies, and I think maybe it's that. So there's this element that, you know, it's like kind of the competency curve, where it's just like your knowledge versus your actual skill, or it's your knowledge and how you think you're going. So usually where you have low knowledge, people think they're doing better than they are, which is you in that dream. But you're not like that professionally. You know your shit. It's very simply like you're actually competent. You are competent, but it's that element of when you start to know more, you think you're not as good at it. Your confidence is a little bit less, even though so it's kind of like your subconscious kind of telling you you're not good enough for this, even though you are. You know what I mean? It's like not necessarily acting because you're not. But also, I love what do you want to be when you grow up, and it's just like, you look like a child.
I may be 30, but oh my god, side note, the funniest thing happened the other day. So in Australia, we get people knocking on your door and they try to sell you stuff, right? And lately it's been they're trying to get you to adopt like koalas and stuff, because koalas are apparently going extinct.
They are.
So we've had a lot of people coming around trying to get you to, you know, pay a monthly fee to adopt a koala, and I find that bullshit. I don't think that money is going where it needs to go. There are other causes where they are legitimately trying to raise money and help koalas, but this organization that came to my door, I sort of Googled them after, and it's a whole, like, it's not got good reviews.
Yeah.
So he knocked on the door and I've answered, and I'm just in like my gym gear because that's just what I wear every day. And he's just chatting to me because, you know, they try and build a relationship before they start selling you stuff. So like, oh, how's your day going? And, you know, I had Otis, my dog. He was sitting next to me, so he started talking about the dog, blah blah blah. And then he's like, oh, so you look quite young. How old are you? And I was like, and here I am. I'm like, oh, I'm 21. And he's like, oh, okay. So no one around the house is 25 or older? And I'm like, no, my parents are, you know, I'm able to work from home, but my parents still have to go into the office. He's like, oh, okay, will anyone over the age of 25 be home soon? And I go, oh, probably like after 6 o'clock. And he goes, oh, okay, we'll get someone come back around then. I was like, I can pass for 21.
That's impressive. A lot of women have spent hundreds of dollars.
I know. This is El Natural. It's a 30-year-old woman, and I passed for 21. It's those
Eastern Bloc genes. It's those Hungarian genes.
It is.
You know?
It is.
It's like keeps you young. It's like, look, I've been mistaken for handsome before. It's not true. but on the right angle. No, it's because I got the half Asianness too. So like we're gonna look like beautiful babies forever until we're not. Until we get to the point where it doesn't matter anymore, and society puts us in a box, and we're just like, I remember back in my old days, I used to pass as 21, and it's like, okay, Grandpa. And I'm like, it's true. It's true. I swear to God, it's true.
Like my mum just turned 65, and she does not have a wrinkle, not one.
That's It's funny how that. Okay, here's a question for you. And is your mum a smoker?
No, never smoked in her life.
Okay. Because apparently it's meant to be good. That can help your skin. Not good for your lungs, but good for your skin. And apparently.
Right.
But yeah, okay. But no, it's funny. Also, Tom, back to your dream with Tom Cruise. Like. That man has done, like, his movie, anything since, like, more recently. His stuff's always been good. I like his movies.
Yeah.
It's like, he's an odd duck. He'd be interesting to talk to.
You
know what? I'm going to do a call out right now at Tom Cruise. If you ever want to be on this podcast, you have any dreams, and tell us what you want to be when you grow up, make sure you hit us up at whatdayouDreampodcast@gmail.com. Okay.
I do like Tom Cruise, and I know that's not a popular opinion because he's into Scientology and shit, but I respect Tom Cruise. I think I feel like he's got a head on his shoulder, and he does things for the right reason. Like when COVID came out, there was an audio clip that got leaked he was on set. I think it was for Top Gun, actually. They were filming Top Gun, and they obviously had to stop, and when they were allowed to come back on set, some people were taking the piss and they weren't wearing masks and stuff. And so this audio got leaked and he lost his shit. He was just like yelling and saying like, if you want to fucking take the piss, do it in your own time, but don't do it here. And he was just absolutely losing his shit. And so many people came out and was like, oh my God, I can't believe he spoke to his staff like that. And I was like, well, I kind of see where he's coming from, because they're losing millions of dollars by halting that whole production of the film because of COVID. And finally, people are allowed to come back and do their jobs and get paid for their jobs. And there's people just taking the piss. And there were a lot of people who were on his side as well. And they would have been like, I would have done exactly the same. I don't know. I kind of have a bit of respect for him. I just think he's really good at what he does. And when he puts his mind to something, he follows through, and he follows through really well. But yeah, like you said, I can't think of a movie that I disliked of his recently, apart from The Mummy, because The Mummy...
The Mummy doesn't
The Mummy doesn't count because I love the originals, Brendan Fraser. So... Yeah.
Protect him at all costs.
Yes, I love him.
Protect him.
Yes.
But I think Tom Cruise, I'm iffy on him as a person, but like I'm one of those people that can it depends. As long as it doesn't come out that he's like molesting people, I'm pretty okay with, like...
okay, that's...
No, I'm not saying... Yeah, it's like... No, but like, like, because I want to say that and then say this. It's like, I can separate the man from the art. And it's like, look, I don't like Scientology. I don't like all that. But like, I enjoy his movies. I've enjoyed, especially, they called it they rebranded it as Live, Die, Repeat, which is stupid. And it was called Edge of Tomorrow, where he dies, but he always comes back to life.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Great
so
movie.
Good. Poorly marketed.
Yeah.
Great movie. But it's like, it doesn't mean I like him. I just like, he's a good action dude. He knows what he's doing, And I think that's fine. He knows his lane. He's sticking with it. And I, for one, am interested in watching Top Gun. Actually, probably never watched the first one, fun fact. I didn't actually watch that.
You've never watched the first Top Gun?
Never watched the first one.
Are you kidding me?
I know, and I love my 80s action. It's quintessential. I know. I still haven't.
Okay. After this, you were marching your ass downstairs, you were sitting on that couch, and you were watching Top Gun. Okay,
wait, let me take a look. Where is... I will watch Top Gun. We'll talk about Top Gun. I'll make a point to talk about Top Gun, okay? I'll make sure it's done.
I can't believe you've never watched Top Gun.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. And everything I say is bad. Anyway, On that disappointing note.
You are a disappointment.
I am a disappointment. Everything I say hurts people. On that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for listening. If you have any dreams or questions, make sure you email us at whatdoyouDreampodcast@gmail.com, and also don't forget to follow us at Facebook and Instagram at whatdoyoudreampodcast. I've been Nick. This has been Christy saying thank you so much for listening, and hope you have sweet dreams.